I love this.
Yeah, I do.
I ride my bike all winter just to like ride through it, you know.
Yep.
Pretty sure I've got like a huge box full of Christmas shit. I might actually put it up this year.
Yeah.
You know, when you live alone, it's really easy to like be fucking lazy and just not get a tree.
Let me see. Still says be right back on fucking. Okay, no, I think we're back up.
Oh shit! Shit! I'm F5ing right now. I can actually I have multiple tabs open, and I'm not dropping out of the call. It's pretty amazing. I think I fixed my issue.
Yeah.
At least for now. Yeah, looks like we're back up.
Alright, let me see.
Oh shit! Shit! Logged me out. 1 second.
Okay. I'm gonna get this out to Twitter here.
Yeah, I was about to do the same.
I'll just do this. Okay. So, yeah, I only lost about half the people.
Oh, people stayed? Excellent.
Some people did. And we're back at least.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, what's up, Mark? I see you in the chat there.
Hey guys, what did I miss?
Oh.
I had to restart the whole thing.
Oh no.
Oh,
There's some difficulties.
Uh-oh.
How do you do that?
It was them.
Oh,
well,
Jamie, I need you to make me the host because without the paid one, there's a time limit.
I think it gave it back to you, actually. Hold on.
Oh, it did. It did. Cool.
Yeah. I must have, like, automatically when you came back.
No, I didn't get showed. It was just the my software froze up for some reason. It was acting funny earlier, and then when I tried to start, like I had to re-input my DLive key and shit, and then it froze up when I was trying to play the Twitter video. So I don't know.
I saw something interesting here in my timeline, and this brings up an interesting, interesting to me.
Oh, hey, patron! Patron said he's just here to
Oh,
heckle.
Pat, what's up?
Yeah, just here to heckle you.
There's just here to heckle. So
a Super Value Ireland Christmas commercial, and it was retweeted with a comment that says, "Well, blow me over backwards. It's an advert with just white people." And think about that for a second. That's surprising,
right?
Especially in Ireland.
Yeah, totally.
The Irish are mostly black, right? I mean, judging by like the commercials I see out of there.
Well, the only white people,
right?
Yeah, the only white people in Ireland, they were invaders, right? Because it used to be all black.
Right.
Fucking colonized.
We was Irish and shit.
But just thinking that we're in a position where, in a white country, it's a surprise to see white people in an advertisement. unless they're being used as an interracial couple or the stooge.
Oh yeah, that's why I like watching old TV shows from the '80s and stuff. You know.
Yeah, it's
Where,
such
like,
a difference. It's crazy.
I watched earlier today. I watched Airplane, the original Airplane.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's a classic.
yeah. And the only
I like
black
how-
people on there, they played black
Jive
people.
talking.
Yeah, jive talking and all that. Like,
Oh, hold on. I speak a little jive. The old lady.
Motherfucker.
okay.
It's funny the tall guy. What the hell's his name? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Every time the camera cuts back to him, he's wearing more basketball gear.
Yeah.
So he starts out being dressed up as a pilot, then he comes back and he's holding a basketball. Then he's got the shorts on.
So old bitch ass ain't ever had no brains anyhow.
Dude, when I was a kid, like I would cry laughing at that movie. That shit's so funny.
Anytime I spill a drink, I always do that. I have a drinking problem joke.
Yep.
Like Leslie Nielsen was my favorite actor as a kid.
Oh yeah, he was so good at it. And
Yeah.
it's funny that he started out doing dramatic roles and kind of a lot of bit part dramatic roles. And he does it really well. He plays seriously really well. But the thing that was just more marketable for him was the comedy.
Well, that's because he does the serious roles
Yeah.
so well. He can say it. He says it with such a straight face,
Yeah,
and like a serious actor, but he's saying the most ridiculous shit. You know?
yeah. Yeah, I watched a few interviews with him where he kind of talked about how he fell into that. It wasn't like he didn't have like a plan to do comedy. He just got offered a role, did it, and then it worked out so well that they just started coming in. He's like, oh, well, people really like this. And this is fun to do, so let's go and do it, right? I don't know if you watched was it Police Squad TV show?
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't on that long, but I watched it in reruns actually, but that was funny.
Well,
funny
obviously, I
stuff.
wasn't alive in like 1965 or whatever the hell it was out.
It was a little later than that, but not by Like
it was before I was born. I know that.
Yeah.
I definitely don't remember anything before the 80s. So
Yeah. Well, I was born in '80s, so I don't remember. 82.
Huh?
Broadcast ABC Network in 1982.
did?
Created
Oh,
by
Police Squad.
Yeah. Created
didn't-
by David Zucker, and another fellow named Jim Abrams.
I thought it was older than that for some reason, but
The funny thing is that, there's a lot of subversive stuff going way back, but a lot of the comedy that was done by people with echoing names, they did some good stuff. They did some funny stuff. It's too bad that they have to be destructive.
this is why we can't have nice things. No, we got to be woke, and nothing's allowed to be funny anymore.
Yeah.
That
What they
was-
call comedy, but they call comedy.
Hey,
is just
speaking
not
of funny, I just want to.
Oh.
Wait, what was that fat Australian woman who did a stand-up special a couple years ago where she like talks? It's not funny, like she talks about getting raped and stuff. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I
No,
must. Have
but
missed
that's
that
pretty
one.
much what comedy is these days: is fat chicks
Yeah.
talking about their vagina.
Uh,
What's her name?
Yes.
Amy Schumer. Your choices are: you can watch Amy Schumer talk about her vagina, or you can watch Sarah Silverman talk about her vagina.
Yeah, it's funny. Hearing Norm Macdonald talk about that, and he just goes right out and goes, "Women aren't they're not funny."
Hannah Gadsby, that's her name. If you guys ever have time, look up some Hannah Gadsby clips. It'll.
No.
I mean, it's exactly what you think it is, you know.
No, I
Just
don't
like-
think I will.
No,
It's like it's supposed to be like challenging, you know. It's just fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cringe.
yeah, it's just not funny. Like
What is funny though is one of Trump's reply guys, Jeff Tiedrick on Twitter. He's that guy who he looks like Steven Spielberg, and you see him right under every single Trump tweet. This guy just said, no, Jeff Tiedrick. He said, pro tip, my uncle spent 3 years in a basement hiding from the Nazis. You can skip Thanksgiving and wear a mask for 1 winter.
What a faggot.
Did he write his memoirs down? Maybe in ballpoint pen?
3 years in a basement, bro. Jeez.
Right?
You want to know what my grandpa did? You want to know what my grandpa did for 2 years? Back then? He spent 2 years of his life nailing the Nazis with artillery fire. That's what he fucking did.
Yeah.
He didn't hide. He killed people.
Yeah.
It's more noble to hide.
Oh, yeah. Only if you're chosen to hide.
Yeah.
See, my granddad was in China fighting the Japanese, so
pretty based.
China. Oh, your grandpa was like
Pacific Theater.
He's in China, so was he like a P-40 pilot with the Flying Tigers back in the 30s or some shit?
Well, I was about to mention those guys.
A lot of the ground fighting, he was in the army, so a lot of the ground fighting was in China.
Oh, dude, this is hilarious.
Like, we didn't actually fight much on mainland Japan. It was all...
No, they did on the islands. Wait, we didn't fight in China against the Japanese, unless... Are you thinking of Korea?
Oh, no, my other granddad was in Korea.
I don't know.
Oh, the English were in Burma and different areas like that.
I don't know. I just know he used to tell me stories about how they'd get like 3 cartons of cigarettes a week, and he'd sell 2 of them to the Chinese. Fucking, I would probably call them all Chinese. They all.
Yeah, that could be it. Nugs posted a riot video where it's been played in reverse. I just put it into the poster. It says, "Good Samaritans returning stolen goods during the riot."
Rebuilding everything too, right?
Yeah.
Fucking nice.
Look how civilized they are.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I gotta retweet that shit though.
Just like me and you.
I think the left, because they always like project us. I think last night they were really expecting a lot more chaos just out of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they really don't know how to react when we don't take the bait. It's kind of funny.
And we never do. But they always expect us, because they would. And they can't, like... I mean, we're not talking about the most intelligent people in the world, obviously.
No.
No.
So they, Hey, Rusty Shackelford's father was born in a crematorium. He crawled out of his mother's womb made of ashes. Can you imagine?
Oy vey.
That's something.
Oh, based.
Just glad you can. I'm just glad he can make it out.
Yeah.
The horrors.
How? Real quick question though, Rusty. How did you get away?
He had
Did you
to
sneak by. Chew through your own umbilical cord.
He had to strap himself to a rocket from the Acme Corporation and put on roller skates and blast himself through the wall. Well, first he drew a picture of a hole in the wall. Then he blasted himself through the wall, and then when the Nazis tried to come back and get him, they ran up against the wall.
Wow, that's just horrifying. Oi. And how many times have you heard the same type of story? It's so...
Right.
Yeah.
Every single time. That's how many.
Oh shit.
Oh God, yeah.
Some good fries.
All right, so
Is there
should I
a-
try to play this Trudeau video again?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what killed it before.
Yeah, that's what killed it before, but I think I can do it. So, I'm just gonna.
Zara Friendly said in the D Live chat, imagining Three's Company on TV now. Do you imagine what Three's Company would be if they had produced it nowadays?
Well, it was funny back then because everybody thought Jack was gay, but he wasn't.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like
He was
now
a-
looking back on it, you can see how they were putting in the agenda there, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But like,
It still ended up being a funny show.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah,
they wouldn't do it like that anymore.
no. I mean, it'd have to be an actual, a real trans person playing. You know. Oh, we can't have that. And then the girls got to be lesbians with a adopted black son, and
Exactly. All right, let me play this Trudeau video. It's only 30 seconds anyway.
Building back better means getting support to the most vulnerable while maintaining our momentum on reaching the 2030 agenda.
Start it over.
Building back better means getting support to the most vulnerable while maintaining our momentum on reaching the 2030 agenda for sustainable development and the SDGs. Canada is here to listen and to help. This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset. This is our chance to accelerate our pre-pandemic efforts to reimagine economic systems that actually address global challenges like extreme poverty, inequality, and climate change.
Yeah, like he didn't even say anything different than what Klaus Schwab, probably exact same words Klaus Schwab was saying, you know? And,
Gotta stick to that script.
yep. He just said it with his little gay Canadian accent. His Canadian accent.
oh yeah, you can't wait to accelerate their pre-pandemic programming, right?
It's an interesting choice of words there.
Yeah. Well, because like Klaus Schwab, they were already saying like a few months ago, oh well, the lockdowns have been really good. We're gonna have to keep doing something like this to stop climate change and blah blah blah, right? Which is some bullshit right there. And then after that, now they're talking about there's gonna be. Let me see if I can find that video. Don't remember where I watched it at.
Johnny, that food sounds delicious.
Thank you. What? Oh, are you expecting me to mute myself or be quieter? Fuck you.
At least he
I'll
hasn't
just
burped
laugh at the
yet.
rapper noises.
At least he hasn't burped yet.
He's working up to it.
That comes at the end.
Yeah, build up.
I got myself 3 fucking cheeseburgers.
Bro, cheeseburger. I'm fucking starving.
Yeah.
I bought one of those pre-made baked macaroni and cheese things from the grocery store and had that with the kids.
Nice.
Fuck, that shit is good,
Nice.
boy. I ate 2 plates of it and I can barely move.
Yeah, I can't find the actual video. But I don't remember what I was watching last night. Or, no, it was this morning. They had it. Am I in my cave
what was
now? Is my audio weird now?
No?
Not for
Not
you
weird to me.
guys, but in the on the other end.
Hot sauce is good.
Put some hot sauce on. White people don't be using no hot sauce.
Hey, they don't like no flavor.
Right? They don't be spicing their food.
That tapatio is so fucking good, dude.
Yeah,
It's good on everything, man. Pizza, burgers.
I was trying to find that Klaus Schwab video. I found articles. I could probably actually look on YouTube. What I can't remember what I was watching today, so maybe it was probably BitChute actually. But.
Crap, dude. Somebody just posted. I used to go looking for videos of this stuff a few years back, but somebody posted pictures from inside an abandoned church in Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing was friggin' beautiful, man. Holy crap. And I was just falling apart. I was just falling all to pieces.
But yeah, basically, like the whole coof thing has nothing to do with fucking any virus. The virus was bullshit to begin with.
Yeah.
But what if we were the virus, huh?
You remember when it first started? All the morons were doing that shit, like blah blah blah. The Earth is healing. We are the virus, and so we all made fucking joke posts about it and shit.
Right, but we're not Jewish.
Right?
The Deutsch.
Well, it was mostly making those posts when they said we, so you know.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Make of that what you will.
Not wrong. We fellow humans.
Right. Do you have the sound on or something? I think it's Johnny. Let me see. Yeah, it's Johnny. You got some background noise there, bud.
That better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh wow. Social distancing masks still necessary after getting COVID-19 vaccine.
Oh yeah, Fauci said that too. Because it doesn't
Yeah.
have anything to do with the goddamn.
Yeah. Well, clearly, masks aren't going to do anything to stop the spread of a virus if the virus is a problem. I mean, I guess if you could lock yourself away for a couple of weeks and, well, all the people with the virus died off, you could maybe do it that way. But I mean, it's not happening because it's not deadly. So even the social distancing is ridiculous.
Right.
And I mean, that's just running on the assumption that the virus is exactly what they say it is, which I don't believe it is at all. But
yeah, I don't believe that.
But it's like none of it makes any sense to anybody who just sits back and thinks for a minute, right? I don't know if I had brought this up before, but I started looking up. I saw a video where I wish I could remember the guy's name. I think he's out of Toronto too. He's some sort of definitely part of the tribe, mind you, but he's a doctor and he's talking about the because I was looking to see if they had actually isolated the virus, because for a long time they were saying that they hadn't isolated it yet. Then all of a sudden I started seeing reports that it has been isolated. And I watched this video and the guy provided the links to the actual papers, the published papers that claimed to have isolated the virus, and not one of them did.
Yep. But they say it, and they'll just put the link to some study, and no people don't fucking.
Yeah, they don't read the actual study.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that if you spend a couple of minutes reading the thing, I mean, you'll run into you're going to run into some scientific language that I think they do purposely so that it's hard for the average person to understand it. Like it's a way of controlling information and making themselves, giving themselves power over the general public. But nowadays there's something called Google or internet search engines, where if you run into a term that you don't understand, you can look it up.
Yep.
Right? And you can just keep educating yourself. You don't have to go to school to understand one of these scientific papers. Educate yourself on what the terms mean, and then read the thing, and you're like, whoa, this doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
Like, it didn't isolate shit. And every time they said that they were sequencing the genome, they were using their replicating process to create DNA that could be measured. And then they take these little chunks of DNA, say, oh, well, you know what? We have these chunks of DNA, and we're going to throw this into a computer program, and the computer program is going to fill in everything else and tell us what a likely genome is. So they haven't isolated anything. They haven't measured anything.
They've never isolated. Pedro was saying this, but I was about to say it anyway. Like, they've never isolated any virus. And they can't absorb them live, infecting a cell. So there's like the whole question of like what we think viruses are is quite possibly it could be something totally different. Which one day I'll go into that, but
again, like
that'll
bacteria,
have to be a D-Live exclusive because D-Live BitChute exclusive because that will get my YouTube channel gassed. And
but like a bacteria you can grow in a petri dish with a food source. There's no other genetic material in it.
Well, you're getting that background noise again, Johnny.
But
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. It was there.
Probably 'cause I'm like picking food out of my teeth.
There we go.
But what they call viruses, they say can't grow by itself. It needs a cell to grow in, right?
That's what they say.
But yeah, and I'm not going to argue that point right now. I'm just saying, but so if that's correct, then you can't grow a virus isolated.
Yeah, then you couldn't grow it in a petri dish and shit like you can
because
bacteria.
Once you start shaking up that material, you have all the dead host cells.
Yeah. The idea is that it needs a cell to inject its material into to hijack the fucking so that to replicate itself. So you couldn't grow it without a live cell.
Yeah. And because of that, you can't isolate any DNA, anyways.
Yeah. And the mass type Viaga is saying, that the masks cause bacterial pneumonia because you're sitting there breathing, it's all moist and breathing it in and out and all that shit.
Perfect ground to grow bacteria.
Right. It wouldn't stop a virus,
Especially
but
if
it's
you got a beard.
Yeah. Wouldn't stop a virus, but it's the perfect breeding ground for bacteria.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Yo!
How's it going, brother?
Hey, it's Steve here, and I was told that I need more enthusiasm, so I'm coming in today hot, and I'm bringing the heat. Heat.
All right, we got the new and improved enthusiastic Steve Z in the house.
That's right.
My face, I'm retarded.
I can feel the energy rising.
We just got locked down. We're going to be locked down in 3 days, and so we went to a bar for probably the last time, and we watched the Buffalo Bills,
time,
and they were going to win. They were seconds away from winning, and then the Arizona Cardinals came in and they did a Hail Mary, and it was all over, unfortunately. But the great news is that I got a lot of homework done at the bar because I'm a fucking nerd.
Cool.
Nerd. Okay, nerd.
I like football. Look at me. Just kidding.
Everybody was there high-fiving, and I was staring at my computer screen coding.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was... I was bringing the heat while I was coding, so there was lots of enthusiasm there.
Were you wearing your coding thigh highs?
He was coding with malicious intent.
I was hacking the Gibson, hacking the Planet, and let me tell you, it's not easy. It's not easy being the only guy in the bar that's getting shit done.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. But you know, the lockdown is coming, and the NEETs will rise again.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's coming whether you like it or not. I don't think they're gonna have like it was a few days ago now. I talked about it on the show when it happened. But in Italy they had been having lockdown protests for quite a while.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
I think it was in Verona. They the cops just took off their helmets and joined the protesters. They're like, "Fuck this! This is retarded."
Yeah, I saw a clip from a big one. I think it was in Denmark.
Yeah.
It looked huge. I don't know if I can find that again.
Who was it? There was some governor that tweeted out that I can't remember which one it was, but there was some governor that was like, lockdown laws are unconstitutional, so we're not going to be doing them no matter what they say.
That was governor or Georgia, I think.
Was it? Yeah, I think it was. I think you're right.
Well, I know South Dakota's been resisting the lockdowns a lot, and she's been getting a lot of shit over that.
Yeah,
But-
DeSantis hasn't been locking down either. Which then I
South
keep hearing all
Dakota's
these people
pretty
talking
awesome.
about how based DeSantis is, and you're like, dude,
Oh,
this is the guy. You remember it was just like a year ago. He was in fucking.
yeah, APAC DeSantis.
Yeah.
Yeah, APAC. Yeah, he was in Jerusalem talking about how they're gonna have laws where you can't question the Shoah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what we need.
Because he's
Yeah.
based.
Here's the.
There's a jogger who just parked his truck right next to me, and I am surprised he did not hit me.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw the picture of this over into the chat here. This is Denmark, 9 days of protests over new law that would be able to define groups of people who must be vaccinated. People who refuse the above can be coerced through physical detainment with police allowed to assist. So mandated vaccination in Denmark, and this is the number of people apparently. I haven't done any research on this, so I'm just throwing this out there, but it's a big crowd, and it looks like they're bringing pitchforks and torches.
Based.
I don't see any pitchforks, but they have little torches. It's
Yeah.
kind of
I just see
cool.
the torches.
It's just crazy because they have never once made me take a flu shot. My entire adult life, I've never had to take a flu shot, and the flu is how much more deadly than coronavirus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single year, and it changes every single year. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, this is the same flu every year. No, it's a different flu every year.
Let me see if I can get this
That's
video
why-
up here without my fucking computer breaking down. Oh, yeah, worked just fine. Sweet.
Yeah,
But no, the coronavirus is as big of a threat as they say it is. Everything they tell you is true. You should not leave your home except in order to go buy pot or
To
To-
protest police violence.
to
Yeah.
protest police violence.
You can get booze too.
Yeah, go get booze, get drunk, go
You
buy
get
your
drunk, get stoned.
yep.
We got porn for you to watch.
yeah.
Yeah. But don't
But
go to
whatever-
church.
Don't go to church.
Don't go
Or
hug
if-
grandma. You know.
Yeah,
If you
oh,
do,
yeah.
make a reservation a week in advance to go to church.
Make
let-
a reservation.
And let your loved ones die alone in the hospital.
Yes. Yeah.
Just let them die all alone. I mean, that's what's coming for us too. You know, just get you used to that you will be isolated and allowed to die, and the only people you'll be able to see will be diverse nursing staff who will beat the shit out of you.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And when you're in the nursing home, you're not allowed to leave your room.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
Yeah, they're preparing you for the absolute destruction of your community in every way, shape, and form, and you will be isolated and allowed to die alone while diversity prepares to destroy what's left because they can't manage to keep anything going.
You see,
Well, that's on a brighter note.
Zara throwing a. Is it in French? No, it's in English. Sweet. The title is in French, but an act to restart Quebec's economy and to mitigate the consequences of the public health emergency declared on March 13th, 2020, because of the COVID-19. I don't want to say that pandemic. So they're putting a bill to mitigate the consequences. What are they doing with that, Zara? Like, do you know?
Well, I think the
I'd have to open the
the whole
PDF.
bill's in here. Yeah, hold on, and it's in French, so.
Yeah. I'd have to open the PDF and Google Translate it and all that good stuff.
It'll take a while to go through.
Oh, I forgot I have French fries.
Because
And of course, it's gonna be
speaking
written
of
like,
French, right?
So seriously though, guys, are you going to get the vaccine just to get them to leave you alone and let you
Nope.
live your life again?
Nope, there's fates
No.
worse than death.
No.
Yeah, I will try to avoid that at all costs.
What would it take you to get the vaccine?
My boss telling me it's mandatory or else I'm fired. I don't know.
Yeah, that's unfortunately that's one thing that's I have to support my family myself.
They're gonna do that.
Oh yeah. What I'm worried about right now is because I've got kids with shared custody. I'm worried about my ex vaccinating my kids without my know abouts.
Right. All right, Zara's saying.
Can't you do that?
Zara's saying that bill
Well,
was
Once it's
going
already
to give
done,
them.
there's nothing I can do about it, right? Like,
Zara's saying
No,
that bill was.
hold on, let Walrus talk.
Zara was saying that bill was going to give them the right to impose anything on the citizens because of a health crisis, which that's total bullshit. You know.
I'm sure that power won't be abused at all.
No, why would it?
No, I mean,
I'm sure
Our
they
government-
have our best interest. In
yes,
mind.
and well, I mean, and we just can't understand how complex things are because we're just peasants.
All right. You know, I'd love to say that in a perfect world that I'm not going to take the vaccine and I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to be a free man who makes his own decisions. But I know me, and I know that eventually I'm just going to take it up the rear and get vaccinated. That's probably what's going to happen.
See, fortunately, I just work on my computer, so
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with any of that shit.
You know.
But
Well, I
if
mean, I'm
they-
about to finish school, and I'm trying to get internships right now. I'm trying to get a job after school,
Yep.
and there's no way a year from now that serious employers aren't going to force you to have this. I mean, and if they don't, then there's going to be some like classes that you have to take, and I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah.
That's best case scenario, because that's what you have to do right now in order to go to college. You have to take like an E class or whatever about the importance of vaccinations, and then say that you've at least satisfied that. So like best case
Crazy.
scenario, that's what's going to happen. It's basically like driver's ed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to travel internationally somewhat often, so
Yeah. That would be.
that might pose some difficulties.
Yeah, big time. That's that's going to be one of the easier ones for them to implement and force, right? Because if they do something
What
that
if you
doesn't,
What if you just say you're Orthodox Jew and you don't believe in vaccination?
Oy vey.
Well,
It's against my religion.
Well, I tell you one thing. I'm not going through a conversion to that religion.
Says you had to
Yeah.
convert. Just tell them that.
There's absolutely nothing I could do that would ever get me hired by any of the companies that would only hire an Orthodox Jew. So there's no way that I can back that up. I could say, okay, sure, I'm an Orthodox Jew. I'm not going to take the vaccine and then die of starvation.
yeah.
Well,
Jehovah's Witnesses don't take vaccines, do they?
I mean, that's assuming
Yeah, but
we
they
still.
believe in Jesus. They believe in Jesus. They're not allowed to do that because Christians bad, Jews good.
Whoa, hold on. Jehovah's Witnesses, not Christians. We have
No,
to draw
no,
No,
the
they're
a
not.
weird
But they
cult.
believe in Jesus, don't they? Yeah, but they believe in. They're one of those weird ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't believe that Jesus died on the cross or the resurrection or anything
Oh,
like
really?
that.
Oh, then
Yeah,
fuck them.
Yeah, they're like the Mormons where they have Jesus in their doctrine, but the number one question that makes you a Christian is faith in the resurrection, and they reject that. So without that, you can't actually, by definition, be a Christian. Like
They can't even go to
Protestants,
heaven. Jesus.
But the
All right. A little white
Mormons
pill
don't
here.
dispute. The Mormons don't dispute the crucifixion, but they have a whole other text that's for another time. It's pretty funny stuff.
right? They believe Jesus is the Son of God. They believe he was crucified.
He was the
but they
savior.
don't
Yeah,
believe
he
in
was the
res-
savior. But they also
they don't
believe
believe in the
that.
resurrection.
Well, the Mormons do, but they also believe that a group of like the Lost Tribe of Israel went across the Atlantic on spaceship-shaped boats and became the Aztecs. It's some pretty interesting and
Oh.
hilarious shit.
Let's watch this video real quick that Zara threw in from Twitter. They're saying apparently Denmark threw out their epidemic law. So I'm gonna see if I can get that up here. Let me see.
Oh, so the people kind of won there.
Yeah,
That's
amazing,
good
right?
news.
That never
That's
happens.
good news.
So play that real quick.
Light Blight. What flavor ice cream did you order?
All right, I'm gonna play the video. So
Alright, quick update, guys. They thrown
Rusty Shackles
the epidemic law in the
liberate
ban.
the crap out of you.
all right, I can't play the video if you guys keep talking.
Sorry.
Yes! Denmark did it. I don't know if you can see here, but that's the way it looks. This is so amazing, guys. Share the good news, please. Share. Denmark has thrown the epidemic law down the drain. Yes! I'm so happy I can't even speak.
Well, I don't think I need to watch the full 2 minutes, but that's pretty awesome. Happy birthday, Mazzy. You don't have any fucking you don't have the lockdown laws just in time for your birthday.
I can't believe I was so retarded. I thought he was from Australia.
Australia, Denmark, what's the
He sounded like it though. He sounded. I don't remember. He was on that
He
one
doesn't
time.
sound Australian. Hello, here I'm talking from Australia.
Was that scene from Dumb and Dumber? Is just like, where are you from? Austria. And she's like,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
day, mate. Let's
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to the ship on the barbie.
Yeah, I'm from Austria.
Oh, that was when they
Nice,
had that terrorist attack. The Mudskin was like shot up the stuff in Vienna.
Oh.
And
Sausage. They shot him. He shot a bunch of people right in the Vienna sausage.
yeah, but they posted it, like shooting, active shootings in Vienna, blah blah blah. And some moron had commented on it. It was like the breaking 911 or one of them breaking news accounts, And the top reply there was like some idiot going, "This is what happens when you have the Orange Man when you have Trump in office. I was like, oh, who knew that Austria voted for Trump too, right? He really is the God Emperor.
At that point, you just gotta wonder: I don't think that's a real person that posted that. I think that's just an auto reply. Oh, something about politics. Orange man, Marie.
Maybe that's possible.
When I see stuff like that, I just report it as a fake account. I don't care.
But I've seen enough of those idiots do stuff like that it's believable. Like, I don't think they realize Vienna is in a different country. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty low information. I know Joe Biden voters are in general pretty low information people, but that's just like.
All right, have you seen all those YouTube videos
they're
have you seen all the YouTube videos where they're talking to people about like asking random passerbys on the street like basic questions like?
Oh yeah, that's like the Letterman show, like stuff that he used to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what year did the United States start? And, like, they say everything but 1776. Like,
Yeah. 1865. Yeah.
There's one I saw that was really good. Dude was walking up to people and it'd be like, I'll either give. He was standing outside of a coin shop, and he's like, I will give you. Today's your lucky day. You can either have this 1 ounce pure silver coin, or you can have this Hershey's bar. And they take the Hershey bar every time.
Yep.
And right in front of the shop that you can go sell it for $20, you know?
Yeah.
Did you say my name?
Did not. No. Getting some money in the background there, huh?
Mom, give me my tennies now.
Oh, I wanted to ask yesterday, but I forgot. I'm going to ask now. If there anyone out there could make some friend art for my AVI, I would fucking love it.
What are you looking for?
I don't know. Even though I have nothing to do with flying fighter jets, I just like the. I think it'd be funny to have like an Apu or a Marv with like a fighter jet flight suit on with like the jumpsuit plus the little G suit, but he's wearing a black Stetson. You can draw that for me. I'd appreciate it. Fuck, I'll pay you it too if you want me to.
Plenty of artists out there. If nobody else does, I'll see what I can do for you too.
Thanks, man. I fucking love you.
I got a bit of a backlog, but it's some stuff is easier to do, like throwing on the mask.
Yeah.
The skull mask there for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like that just ended up being a little easier, but sometimes it's. I'm not a pro at this shit, so.
You're out of red velvet. That's fucking horrible.
Excuse me? You tell them that's unacceptable.
That's right. Tell them you would like to speak to their manager.
All right, well then when you guys get some red velvet, you're going to give me some for free.
Right. I expect a rain check. Peanut butter ice cream always sounds good, but it always has like a weird texture.
So what's that?
Peanut butter ice cream. It sounds good.
Yeah, I like it when it's mixed with something else, like you have the Reese's peanut butter ice cream type stuff.
Yeah,
Whether it's not its name
like,
brand Reese's, but it's like chocolate with like real peanut butter mixed in. I always like that.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. I can deal with it.
Since
like
we're talking about desserts.
But like just like the straight peanut butter ice cream, it always has a weird texture because the peanut butter doesn't sit. If it's like a peanut butter swirl or something, that works. You know?
Yeah. But when if they try to homogenize it, it doesn't quite break down properly.
Yeah. That's
a good question. What's your guys' favorite flavor of ice cream?
My favorite I ever had was a combination of my two favorites. So it was mint chocolate cookie. So it was like cookies and cream, but with mint ice cream.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
I'm a big fan of birthday cake. I'll be honest.
Nice.
Birthday cake's a good one.
Based.
Birthday cake or like anything with marshmallow in it.
Oh yeah.
Like Ben and Jerry's, I don't eat it anymore, but their fish food, like that marshmallow swirl, bro.
Ben and Jerry's, no.
Yeah. No,
Hey,
none
hey,
of that.
hey,
I'll get some
that's-
Kroger brand. It's not
It's-
quite as good, but
Fish food was basically a Rocky Road. So
Yeah, mine is.
yeah. But I just mean like that. Their
yeah.
Sorry, go
Rocky
ahead.
Road is good. I like Heavenly Hash, if you guys know what that is.
Yeah,
No.
I do.
It's chocolate ice cream with bits of walnut in it or some nut in it and chunks of chocolate, and it's got
You
a
want some nut in your ice cream, huh?
it's got a it's got a little bit of marshmallow swirl in it.
Well,
So it's
we found the Marv infiltrator. He wants some nut in his ice cream.
My favorite is either Tillamook French vanilla or the Tillamook malted mousse shake, where it's like bits of chocolate, but it's like malt flavored ice cream, so it's really good.
Yeah.
oh nice.
Tillamook makes some. Bunny Tracks is really good. There's actually one that I only ever seen it in Louisiana, but it's called Bear Tracks, and it's like Bunny Tracks,
Oh.
except it's caramel ice cream, and instead of the
Uh-oh.
peanut butter cups, it's little like caramel cups, with caramel instead
Ooh.
of peanut butter inside, and a caramel swirl.
I think we might
tasty.
call
That sounds delicious.
But
I
Bunny
think we
Tracks,
might-
Bunny Tracks is fucking delicious too.
Bunny Tracks Moose Tracks up here.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I think Moose
I've never
Tracks
heard
is
of
actually a
Bunny
little
Tracks.
different.
Oh yeah.
I think Moose Tracks has chocolate ice cream, doesn't it?
No, it's got like a malt ice cream or a French vanilla style or something along those lines. Like it's yellowish.
Okay, but it has the peanut butter cups and a
Yeah,
caramel
yeah,
swirl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess you do call it Moose Tracks.
Yeah, if it's not exactly the same, it's close enough. Because I've never seen Bunny Tracks up here, but
Okay.
everybody seems to have the Moose Tracks one, so I think that's just our version of it.
Yeah, in Kanakistan.
Yeah.
I usually get like the strawberry or the blackberry or the raspberry, and I was afraid to say that because I thought it would sound gay.
Hey, I said I like
Then
nuts in mine, so
Yeah, and Jamie said he likes the birthday cake flavor, so I felt
Yeah.
like I was good company.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I
You
don't
guys
like
gay ice cream.
I don't like plain berry like the kind of generic store bought berry ice cream. But if it actually has like real chunks of fruit in it, seeing as we're talking about gay ice cream, I like mine really fruity.
You like yours fruity with some nut.
Yeah, with some nuts,
nut in it.
some nutty and fruity. No, but if it has like actual chunks of strawberry or raspberry in it, then I dig that. But I don't like this kind of like strawberry-ish flavor shit. Like it just tastes fake. I used to really like black cherry ice cream because it would come with actual black cherries in it. I loved it when I was a kid, but I bought some like a couple months ago when I had like 2 scoops of it. I'm like, this is disgusting. I can't eat it. I don't know if it was just the brand or I just don't like it anymore. But I'm not wasting any more money to experiment with it. I'm too old for trying new things.
Let's just start putting a title instead of just the number of the show on these. And the title for this one could be Fruity with some nut.
Gay ice cream.
Ice cream is a vice. It's just like,
It really, yeah.
especially after pizza. It's like you have a pizza and you feel like you're full, but man, a little bit of ice cream after that. It's
Oh yeah,
just-
yeah.
Yeah.
ugh.
Oh, it's
That's how
funny.
you really put on the balance. Let me tell you.
It's like anything else. It's things in moderation. But the problem nowadays is we've our refrigeration techniques and our distribution of food techniques have gotten so efficient. I know people always going about, oh, you know how much food gets thrown out and blah blah blah. Well, a lot of food gets thrown out just because we're lazy. It's not because there's necessarily it's a terrible system. When people stop making their own dinners at home, fresh food goes to waste. But just the fact that you can go to any corner store pretty well in North America and buy a tub of ice cream.
Bro, and that tub of ice cream will deliver some delicious dopamine to your
big time.
brain,
Big time. It's like,
and then you'll go back for more.
it's like having a crack dealer in every corner, and having crack being normalized. Everybody would be doing it because it's right there. It's easy to get. Oh, I got my instant fix, man. And I'm not trying to shit on ice cream because I like ice cream, but
No, some
I love it, but I know what it is.
yeah, it's the same as alcohol. I mean, it affects you in a different way, obviously, but it has its own way of destroying. But that's not as necessarily immediate as alcoholism. But like we could have, yes, it's legal to drink alcohol, but we're not going to allow 400 places to buy it in every neighborhood.
Well, unless it's a black neighborhood. Adoy!
Whoa, hey.
Right next to the check cashing place.
Yeah,
Right.
the party store, the party store.
Blackies,
I mean,
Pakistanis.
I would just cash checks in the crack shop. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, well, that's it, right?
Yeah, it's like a McDonald's gas station. It's a crack shop.
You know, it's funny
Crack shop.
when I was in
checks, pawn shop.
when I was in Nova Scotia.
We buy gold.
When I was in Nova Scotia, there's in the area I was living, there's a lot of welfare checks going out, like a lot of welfare checks. And on check day, like I would go to the grocery store to buy some groceries. I was working because I wasn't a bum. And you'd be waiting in line, and everybody would be buying something really small so they could cash their welfare checks. They wouldn't spend it all.
Something and cash your welfare check.
They wouldn't spend it all on groceries. They spend like $2 on groceries, and then that changed when the liquor stores started cashing welfare checks. I'm not kidding. The liquor store would cash a welfare check for you.
Yep. I've seen it, dude. Fucking go downtown to those urban shitholes, and yeah, they got a big sign right there. We cash checks. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How is this legal? Like, this is clearly. Yeah.
And
So
they'll just
you could-
charge you a fee. You know, they're really big in the Mexican neighborhoods in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Check-case cashing places.
Yeah.
And those places, if you've ever had a problem with like one of your bills or something like that, you're eventually going to find yourself having to pay a bill in one of these places.
Jesus.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And one time we had to go to Inglewood to pay our
Oh,
cable bill or something
Inglewood.
like that. And we straight up saw a crack deal outside of one of these
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Inglewood.
I got a great deal.
What's that? What's that amphitheater they got there in Inglewood?
The Forum.
The Forum, yeah.
Yeah.
We had went
Yeah,
to
I saw
LA
Nine
for
Inch
some
Nails there.
concert. Yeah, we went to LA for some concert at the Forum. And we had a hotel, and after we were supposed to take an Uber back to the hotel, I got separated or something, and then my phone was dead,
Ooh.
so I couldn't call the Uber. So I was like, oh, I'll just walk back to the hotel. Man, that is not a neighborhood you want to walk through. Let me tell you.
Dude,
Nope.
a Canadian friend of mine had gone down to LA with one of his buddies, and they had rented a convertible, sort of driving around, and they found themselves on, what did they say, Crenshaw or something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That goes
And,
through South Central.
He said they got pulled over by the cops, and the cop was like, "What are you guys doing here?" I'm like, "Oh, we're Canadians." And the guy goes, "Okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn around, drive that way, and not come back."
Yeah.
Based.
Because they're driving around in a friggin' convertible in the ghetto with no idea. They had no idea where they were. They didn't know
Right.
where they were. Right?
Yeah.
They apparently didn't watch the
Boys in the Hood.
the Don't Be a Menace to South
Don't Be
Central
a
or Drinking Your
Menace.
Juice in the Hood. Remember that one?
Yeah, that one's
That was
funny.
actually pretty funny, man.
I found myself at the the transit depot at the corner of Crenshaw and Slauson several times, very late at night. And when I was new to the city, I had no idea where I was. And then later I came to find that Slauson is the street where the Rodney King riots happened.
Oh,
and
fuck.
they were pulling people out of their cars.
Yeah.
To a pole.
Nice.
That'd be an easy place to go missing.
Yeah, in K-Town, they still don't let black people into a lot of the businesses because of the Rodney King riots.
Based.
Bro, I would love to go to the spot where George Floyd got kneeled on, and like me and a buddy go there and like reenact that famous photo, you know?
Dude, you'd get killed so fast. It'd be funny, dude.
Before you even got to the spot, probably.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been seeing the news.
I go at like 9 a.m.
Like,
Oh yeah.
they don't even have a police force anymore, hardly. You know, they had to like.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, you're right.
Because like they all quit. They've been trying to bring them in from other states.
Well, who the fuck would volunteer for that?
Just be super
Exactly.
serious about it and say that you're doing it for your own healing.
Guys were super
Yes,
serious.
I have to know what he went through.
Guys were super
This is how I
serious.
empathize.
I'm super serial.
I need to feel what Floyd felt.
Exactly.
Man,
So what-
man,
so
pig
you're
is
gonna-
real.
You're gonna OD on fentanyl and
Yeah, it's a lot of fentanyl.
I brought some fake cash with me and some fentanyl, so I'm gonna
And some methamphetamine.
yeah.
K2. I think he had some spice or whatever the fuck it's called, that fake weed in his
Yeah.
system.
You remember the
Hilarious.
Florida guy that like ate the dude's face off? They said it
Oh
was
shit, that was the
bath
bath salt stuff, right? Or I don't know.
Actually,
what
it turns
they were
out
saying.
he wasn't on bath salts. That ever
Yeah, that's
found
what they were
him.
saying at the time, though, right?
Yeah, they were saying it was bath salts, and that's how they got them illegal. Then it turned out it wasn't bath salts, but
Yeah.
Was it PCP?
it wasn't anything. It was just nuts.
You're just nuts, yeah.
He was a literal zombie. Yeah.
He was just hungry.
Hey,
Man loves his face meat.
Right.
When you're hungry, you got to eat. You got to eat.
Face meat's pretty delicious though. Like I don't know if you'll have
Cheap meat
ever
on
had
a
like
cow. Yeah.
yeah, like
there's a little,
or like a
there's a little
pork
taco
jowl.
stand. Yeah, there's a little taco stand in Castaic, California, right down the street from a Pilot, or that I always stop at every time I'm there, and I always get a cheek meat burrito, and it's always the best fucking
Nice.
burrito ever.
Yeah, dude. They do la lengua, which is like cow tongue
Yeah,
tacos.
some tongue. They got to cook that really right. I'm not a big fan
Yeah.
of tongue. It's too tough. But
Yeah, but if you do it right, it's like it melts in your mouth. You know, it's like a pot roast. It's so
Yeah.
fucking good.
I never had tongue, but when I was a kid, my mom used to go to a butcher shop. She brought home a cow tongue, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna pass on that.
Yeah, if I saw it whole,
You know,
I'd,
it's a
nah.
big Jewish delicacy too. It's a big Jewish delicacy, cow tongue.
Oh yeah.
You know,
What are you trying to say?
You're a
I didn't
big
know
fat
that.
You're not.
fucking
You're
Jew.
casting aspersions there, buddy. I don't appreciate that very much. But no, my mom's.
now it's starting to make sense with you liking your ice cream fruity with some nut.
Hey now. No, but
Hey now.
my mom grew up in.
About to subvert the hell out of Baskin Robbins.
Well, then I'd definitely be going to Ben and Jerry's. You know, my favorite. They have 109 flavors of ice cream.
I get it now.
No, but my mom would eat all kinds of weird
retarded.
shit. My mom would eat all kinds of weird shit. Like her dad used to make head cheese, like his own head cheese. He'd go to
Oh,
a butcher shop.
so good.
But
That
like
cheese always just sounds like an innuendo for dick cheese or
Yeah.
something.
it looks
Give you
pretty
some head
gross.
cheese.
It looks pretty
Yeah.
gross, but I
It's
mean,
actually
like,
really fucking tasty though.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
deep fry that shit. You deep fry it.
Oh, I've only.
Or no, I'm
eaten it,
thinking of
cold,
scrapple. I'm
but,
thinking of scrapple.
Yeah, you're
Never
thinking of
mind.
scrapple. Head cheese, you just
Okay.
eat it like on a sandwich or something.
Yeah, it's just jellied, right? So
Yeah.
it looks
Dude, I used
gross.
to do.
Yeah.
I was to say I used to do a head cheese banh mi at one of my old restaurants. Shit was so good.
Yeah, but my mom
Fancy
would
French.
my mom would cook up a big pot of sauerkraut and knockwurst sausages, but she'd put pig's knuckles in the bottom.
Yeah.
And she'd eat the pig's knuckles, and we'd all eat the knockwurst sausage and the sauerkraut and whatnot. But I mean, I tried some of the meat; it was delicious, but I just could not gnaw on a friggin' pig's knuckle. Like, it looks disgusting.
I hate that shit. The texture. I hate when I'm like eating something and like what if you ever eat like a chicken sandwich and like you get a piece of like cartilage in there. I fucking hate it. It makes me want to gag.
Yeah.
It ruins the whole thing. I like almost want to throw the fucking sandwich out when that happens.
Well, that's why I
don't mind the
never liked
cartilage so
salmon.
much.
I never liked salmon. Like, I
Oh,
could
it's
eat tuna
collagen.
fish sandwiches, but eat like canned salmon. It has like the bones and shit, and it's like I'm not chewing on that garbage. Like, the texture's just disgusting.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about canned tuna and canned salmon. It's them.
Ever had smoked salmon? Ever had smoked
He's
salmon? That
Canadian.
shit's
Of course
good.
he's had smoked salmon.
Yeah, I don't like smoked salmon, so I don't eat it. But yeah, I've had it. It's good,
You're
great
a fan.
salmon steaks.
You know that's a Jewish delicacy.
Yeah, it is. That's what they say. What's that bagel?
Oh, don't
Make
turn
some
that
bagels
around
and
on me.
lox. Some
Don't turn that around. Jewish people don't know how to smoke food. Come on, have you seen them? They don't even look like they know how
Well-
to use a gas burner.
No.
Wait
But
a minute, yeah, they do.
Yeah, they were experts on gas and cooking and ovens and
Yeah.
No, I just saw on Twitter Mustard Doggo. He's Canadian too, by the way. Yeah.
What? Unfollowed.
He's going to the hospital tomorrow for something. I don't know what, but
Oh shit!
prayers,
you're in
man.
my prayers,
Best
buddy.
of luck.
Hmm.
Hopefully it's nothing major. Good thing is the hospitals are all empty right now, so once you can get in, like they've in Canada, they delayed everything. Like, people are dying because they're not getting the surgeries. But once you get in, once you do get scheduled, there's nobody in there.
Yeah.
And it's not like it. You know what? They're probably going to have a lot less deaths from these resistant bacteria that they've been having problems with.
That's another thing. You know, they always talk about, the cases are going up, guys. The cases are going up. What about the deaths? The cases are going up. The cases are going. Yeah, but what about the deaths? Oh yeah, but the cases. Look at the cases. 183,000 new cases. Yeah, but how many people are dead?
right.
Oh, their brain just melts.
All
You can't
of
fucking
them.
answer that question.
Yeah, but I mean, they've even came out, like the CDC has come out and made statements on this, and medical officials have come out and made statements that, okay, you know what, we just called everybody who died COVID deaths, so it's not really all that bad, I guess.
That's
And,
true. After they said
they-
that, the numbers
they-
haven't
they-
gone up for deaths.
But they've
Yeah.
reported that. They've reported on the fact that not all the deaths are even accurate because they just called anybody dying. And like
But they
officials
still
have said
push that
this.
200,000 number.
And they
everywhere.
completely ignore it. They completely ignore it. They say it and then they ignore it when they come up with new
Yeah.
policy. And the media reports on it momentarily and then just completely goes down the memory hole. But if
That's how
you
you
ever
know
call
they're
them on
fucking
it, they
with
can
you.
say, "Oh no, we've reported on that," but new information has come out, and so that's irrelevant now. They're just
That's how
completely
you know
dance
they're
around it.
fucking with you.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
when you see something like that, there's no way to look at it any other way than, okay, this is just pure manipulation.
Yep.
We can look at the website. We can see the 6% number. We know that.
We can barely hear you, bud.
Oh,
I can hear him fine.
Yeah, you're a little quiet for sure.
God damn it! Are you serious?
No, you're not quiet at all.
Okay.
Yes, no.
how can I bring the heat when I'm quiet?
Are you sure I'm not that quiet? Just kidding.
So I'm still quiet right now.
A little bit.
Yeah, now you're quiet. Now you're a little more quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit.
The quiet kid, guys. Don't make him upset.
Like, it's not
Thank
terrible,
goodness. I mean,
but yeah,
Welcome
you
to Fren
definitely.
Report Live, where we play with our audio all night.
Is that to run
I was
down
hitting
and,
my jaw when you said that. Oh, and it
That's
fucking
the
just came
bit.
up as I laughed.
had to run down and get a glass of apple cider. I don't know if you guys like that. Some
I
fresh
do.
Canadian
It's all right.
apple cider. This
Is it
is
hard
my
How am I
cider
supposed to bring
or-
the heat?
It's what's that?
I said, how am I supposed to bring the heat when you can't hear me?
There you
Now-
go.
There you go. Now
This is,
you're bringing the heat.
It's my favorite brand, Dickens brand. I don't know if you ever had
Sounds
that.
very Jewish.
It's Dickens cider. It's the best.
Dickens cider. Insert Dickens cider. I wouldn't drink that if I were you, bud. I wouldn't drink that if I were you.
Yeah, at least it's hers. He's stepping up from the ice cream now.
Is it like hard cider or non-alcoholic?
No.
Yeah, is it hard cider?
It's hard. It's hard. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That was an actual
Every
question.
morning, I like a hot mug of Dickens cider, and
It's hard, Dickens.
tasty. You know, it's
Do you think that they knew that when they named their brand Dickens cider? Do you think that they
Absolutely.
knew?
Absolutely. They're Canadian, so yeah.
I have absolute
100%.
respect for them.
100%.
I feel
I didn't
bad for
realize
people whose
Canadian-
last name is Dickinson. Everyone whose last name is Dickinson, it just sucks like Dickinson.
yeah.
You fuck your children, you faggot.
It's just my name. I didn't choose it. Too bad. Doesn't matter. Fucker.
But yes, apple cider is brilliant. I love it. I'm from the Midwest, so I grew up with a lot of that. Like, I used to go to an apple orchard with my grandma when I was a kid, and get it straight from there. Pretty badass.
Where I used to live as a kid is a big apple growing area. The Seaway Valley out in eastern Ontario, like huge apple growing. And that actually may be where the Macintosh apple came from. I can't remember. It was a Canadian invention, anyways. I guess
Zara's
Scottish.
talking about cod tongue, like from the fish cod tongue.
Yeah. Tongues and sounds.
Cow.
No,
Cod.
Cod. There's cod cheeks and cod tongues, and that's a big East Coast thing in Canada.
Yeah, she said she got a
dude, I didn't know that. I
I
assumed it was a typo.
No, it's actually the tongues and cheeks and things, and
I would have assumed it was. I would have assumed it was a typo too, but she said Newfoundland. So then cod actually made more sense than cow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, what the fuck? Did you
when I was the East Coast,
did you see the link she posted? A dress for a little boy. It's a pink dress too for a little boy. You know.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's fucking stupid.
Fucking. I'm not even gonna put that on the screen.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
I think they're just fucking with us at this point, really. They're just trying to get a rise out of us.
Urge to Fed post increasing.
You fuckers, we thought we were serious.
I guess I'll click on that.
Dude, I wanted to... See, okay, here's the thing. I wanted to be able to raise my son and let him be a boy and hang out. We'll go play ball and wrestle and get into fights and, go climb shit. And I didn't want to have to be that cartoon dad that they put in the media from the 80s, what is that on your uniform? From the
You mean the based father who loves his children
no,
that everyone else cares about, everyone else loves?
I didn't want to have to scream at my kid, be normal, right? I just wanted to let him be normal. I didn't have to.
Sometimes that's what you got to do.
No, I know, but we're in a place now where I have to be on that shit because he's going to be propagandized anytime I'm not fucking looking. So I actually have to go to my son and go like, listen, that's the gay shit. I don't want you to do that. Don't do that. Like, that's not, no matter what anybody tells you, that's fucking wrong.
Well, see, here's what you got to do. You got to say, people are going to tell you that it's not okay to be yourself and that you need to be someone else. You need to be a girl even. It's okay to be who you are, but you already are who you are. And that's different. Don't let people try to tell you need to be somebody else.
Yep.
Because that's what they're really trying to... They claim it's like, be who you want to be. Well, actually, no, you're not saying that. You're saying... Because you're trying to tell kids boys to be girls and girls to be girls. You're not telling people to be who they want to be because everyone wants to be who they already are. So you're trying to get people to change to what you want.
This is the hypocrisy of it, and they still do this to an extent, but they don't not in the same way that they used to do when I was younger. But they really push this: don't change who you are. whatever you do, don't change who you are, no matter what anybody tells you. Don't conform. You know, if you're a weirdo, then that's cool, right? That just be yourself. You don't need to change. If you're fat, that's okay, right? If you're a cripple, then you got to be treated like everybody else. Now they're going out of one side of the mouth, like that's fat shaming, and people don't have to change who they don't have to change anything to be beautiful. And
But
then
they
the
gotta
other
cut
side of
their
the mouth,
dick
they go,
off,
or the other side of the mouth, they go, you have to change because you thought you touched a Barbie doll when you were 5, therefore you have to change. Your body's not. If you feel your body's not good enough, you gotta mutilate it.
Self-improvement is white supremacy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember they were talking about that, like something about working out makes you more lifting weights or something makes you more right wing, which it probably does because it increases your testosterone, so you don't act like a faggot. But
but also if you have confidence in yourself, and here's one of the things that they hate and they dislike is that. And this is also one of the reasons why I think that they try to, anybody who's physically fit, they try to promote them to be degenerate. You're a Chad, so you got to go out and you never get married, never have kids, go out and get laid all the time, go to the parties because you're the man. As opposed to going, oh wow, you're a confident, healthy man. You've got to be the leader of your community, and you've got to be respectful. And you've got to lead by example type of thing is that he should be telling them. But somebody who's confident in themselves, and it helps if you're confident in your physical abilities, you're not easily intimidated. They can't control that.
Yeah.
So that's, if they can't control it, it doesn't matter what you actually believe. But if they can't control it, you are a Nazi.
Well, there's like a war on testosterone too. You know what I mean? They're hitting it from all
testosterone.
angles.
And discipline.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like working out really teaches you the value of discipline, and that's not something that that you're supposed to have anymore.
Right.
Discipline's a bad thing. That's fascism.
Self-control, man.
Yep.
Well, hold on. What if you're black?
Well,
that's completely different then. That's completely different. That's empowering.
No, if you're black, you're allowed to be homophobic and Islamophobic and fatphobic because you're black.
But not anti-Semitic.
That's right.
No.
If you say anything anti-Semitic, well, we're gonna have a rabbi on your podcast, and then you're gonna come speak at a Zionist summit meeting.
Then you all bend the knee.
It's strange. I have these ice cubes in my drink, and they're melting. They're just melting away. Very strange.
That's what ice cubes do. That's what
they
ice
just
cubes
melt
do.
away.
Yeah,
they look like they're really solid. They look really solid, but they're just fleeting. They just melt away into nothing.
You guys see the video of that black guy who's driving in his car and on the sidewalk there's like a Hasidic Jew not wearing a mask, so the black guy's like, put a mask on, and we're he's just like the Jew all, panics and he like pulls a mask out of his pocket and puts it on and starts running. It's like funny. These people are not ready for when the blacks wake up, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What?
Because they were starting to, and then that's when they stirred up the whole Black Lives. We were talking about that yesterday. That's when they stirred up the whole Black Lives Matter crap. They had to focus the attention away from them and on the white.
Well, I think they know what they're doing. Like, look, Israel doesn't let in black people. Israel's never let in black people. They know they're just trying to destabilize America. They don't care if America goes.
And I would say that the whole reason that, like, after Nick Cannon and Ice Cube came out with their Hebrew Israelite bullshit, and then the Jews whipped them right back into shape.
I think of last night.
Yeah, and they both got back in line, fucking right away.
Yep.
And that, like, blacks are very impressionable. So when you have these two figures, Nick Cannon and Ice Cube, they're out there. They're like important voices for black people, right? So when you get them out there falling in line, all the people who listen to those guys are probably going to fall in line too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Well,
how do you? Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say something stupid. Go.
I was gonna say, how did the Jews come to power? Like, how did it, like the whole, like, it's so weird to me how this just magically happened. Like, I don't understand.
Well,
like, why?
it
Like,
didn't
how, why the
magically
Jews?
happen.
Why the Jews?
That
No,
was-
I know, but like,
It goes
thousands
back
of
to the
years.
Napoleonic Wars.
Ah,
Long
God,
before that, dude.
how long do you
They're
have?
way
How
back
long?
before that.
you need to summarize it in
Dude.
5 minutes, or just don't bother.
They were complaining about him in the Roman times. They were complaining about him before
Yeah.
the Roman times.
Yeah.
They've been.
Do you
opinionated-
believe this whole thing about, like, okay, so, like, you know how it talks about in the Bible, like, there's going to be, like, the Battle of Armageddon in, like, Israel because all the countries of the world are going to fight Israel or some shit?
I mean, it's possible. I
Do you
Well,
think?
there's
Do you
supposed to be
think if
two
Donald Trump?
sides.
Do you
So-
think if Donald Trump decided to, like, go full fucking based and just launch like also a full scale nuclear strike against Israel, do you think God would be like, oh no, you can't do that, and like start the rapture? Or what do you think would happen?
Well,
no.
the Samson option would come into play, and then we'd all be fucked.
Well, this is it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. No matter what you actually believe in, it does become a self-fulfilling prophecy just because of the way things are set up, right? If somebody goes to war, there's so many people who are kind of set up to, like, we're on a hair trigger, and people don't really realize it. They think that, oh, the Cold War is over, or whatever. The whole system could collapse, and we could be in World War III at any moment.
Yeah.
It doesn't, because really nobody wants to. Everybody wants to win and get a little bit stronger and a little bit more power, but nobody wants to take the big gamble. But it could easily get set off, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing: without getting too deep into philosophy, anything that happens is, the will of God.
Yeah.
So it's it might be, if something is affected by an evil force or something, it's part of the system, part of the how do you put it? I don't want to use it's part of the plan, but that's kind of what it boils down to, right? Like, whatever you believe, I don't care what your kind of take on it is. It all boils down to the same thing, right? If you believe in fate, if you believe in the literal translations of the Bible, if you believe in some sort of mix between the two, or you're an atheistic, it's all part of the same thing, right? Like, things are going to happen the way they happen.
Yeah,
I
and
have a theory. And I want to ask your guys' opinion on this. My theory is the Jews had a heavy influence in writing the Bible. That's why, and it means to gain control, and that's why it talks about protecting Israel. The Jews are the chosen people. This, that, and all the other. Do you think that there's a possibility that the Jews corrupted the Bible?
No, that's kind of gay, because the thing is that you're taking two books and you're assuming that these two books are saying the same thing about the same people.
Yeah,
that's
true.
not
True. Do you think the Old Testament God is different from the New Testament God? Because the reason I say that is Old Testament God is very much, like, you need, like, getting Abraham to almost kill his son just to see how much he loves him, things like that.
There
and
is
then
a school of thought
and then you see the Son of God, Jesus, teaching everybody, don't judge somebody just because they did something you don't agree with. You're just as guilty as he is, or just love everybody. If you think, sometimes I read that, I'm thinking, like, are we talking about the same God here? Is there, like, two different gods people are talking about that they accidentally like misinterpreted?
Well, that's what I was getting to. There is a school of thought that says that they kind of included the Old Testament in there to show basically that they were worshiping some demon, and then Jesus came to show the correct way.
I don't think that that's true, but
I didn't say I believe it. I just said there's a school of thought.
I mean, do you guys listen to E. Michael Jones at all?
Not really.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I have before, but I don't, like, actively.
This is a great guy to listen to on this subject, because basically American evangelical thought is that the Jews of today are the Jews of yesteryear, and that's not the way it is. You see, the way the New Testament is written, it's written in such a way that Jesus came to fulfill the prophecies of the Old Testament. And when he did that, he essentially, his followers became the new Jews. And the Jews that rejected Christ and crucified him, they lost their temple immediately after. They became cursed, and they're actually not even the real Jews anymore. All they
So
are
the
is
Jews of today aren't the same Jews.
no, they are no, because they're not defined by a covenant with God. They lost their covenant. They're defined by the rejection of Christ.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that's why
shit.
you get all the stuff in the Torah and the Talmud about
Well, that's a nasty piece of work, that thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
the
mean-
Jews actually used to be cool.
Yes. Jesus was
Oh
a Jew.
shit.
But
I disagree there.
No, but
Knowing what
we're
I know about
going
ancient history.
Yeah,
I mean, I
but-
know a lot of people will disagree there, but you know, the Jews were never perfect. You know, everybody back then was killing each other for land. They were not
Yeah.
perfect. They were a flawed race, and they knew it. but they were blessed.
But like
And
I'll
they
say
stopped
this.
being
This is
blessed
like
when they rejected Christ.
knowing what I know about ancient history. This is actually incredibly relevant. That the New Testament was written in Greek originally.
Yeah.
Which is an
Most of
Indo-European.
it, yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, which is an Indo-European language, while the Old Testament was written in Hebrew, which is a Semitic language. And I think it really probably goes back that far to even probably like tens of thousands of years ago, where it's just the clash between the Aryan tribes and the Semitic tribes, you know?
Did the Greeks come before Jesus, or when did that? Or did
Yes.
they come after?
Yes.
Well before.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
The
before.
Romans were in control when Jesus came.
Yeah.
So the Greek Empire
Yeah,
was
it's hard.
already
It's hard to
gone.
remember when all that shit was around. It's hard to
It
remember.
was
that
like,
sometimes.
was it Tiberius was emperor with Jesus? Was it Tiberius?
No, it was Augustus Caesar, I think, when Jesus was around.
I thought it was after. Oh, hold on. I'm going to just do a little quick.
Actually, I'm
God
pretty sure.
damn, it's hard to keep track of that shit.
I think Augustus was Caesar when he was born, and then Tiberius took over.
Hmm.
By the time he died.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
Well, yeah, so the
Tiberius.
thing is that nowadays when people like particularly evangelicals, they say this thing like, oh, we have to, as long as we stand with Israel, we'll be blessed by God. That's actually not what the Bible says.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not at all.
And it's actually a heretical opinion, because Israel of today is defined by its rejection of Christ.
Yeah.
So you're basically standing with a nation that rejects Christ, and you're expecting to get blessed by God for that. And if you notice, since we made that decision and since we went down that path, the United States has been anything but blessed.
Yeah.
Like, they've always been, once again, they've been a pain in everybody's ass for thousands of years. But
Well, and it's all about
particular.
It's all about building the third. I'm trying to fix my echo here, but it's all about building the third temple,
Which is a heresy also.
which is a heresy. Exactly, that's what I was getting to, because that's why the second one was destroyed. The first one was with God's permission, and it was destroyed because they broke the covenant with God, and so it got destroyed.
Yeah.
Solomon's temple, and then Herod's temple got destroyed because it was an abomination. It wasn't supposed to exist, and so they're not supposed to build a third temple either. But
Right.
Yeah.
And also, it was destroyed immediately after the crucifixion of Christ. So, you know, I mean, that's part of the curse too. Is that okay? Well, now you aren't even going to have a way to get atonement. So you're going to have no connection to God whatsoever anymore.
right,
And then
So then they lost their covenant, they've lost their atonement, they have no connection to God. So what do? Is the rabbis take over, and all they do is just write questions upon questions upon questions, and they just try to obfuscate the truth as much as possible. So that's why whenever you talk to these people about Jesus, rather than trying to provide an alternative path, all they do is just question Jesus. And they're
So
going,
Moses was based.
yeah, he was an ethnic nationalist, basically.
If he
Okay.
even exists, there's lots of schools.
Well, I know, but he
of thought.
was Jewish. He was Jewish, but I'm just saying, making sure, like, okay, but he was based.
I'm not
You
going
know, all
to
those
say
guys were
anything.
based.
There's no reason to have a problem with Moses. There's no reason to have a problem with most of these Old Testament figures. You know, they were just men of the times, and they were trying to worship one God, and that was the truth. But the thing was that they were missing.
No,
the
there's lots of
Trinity.
schools of thought on that. I'm not going to declare any one of them as being correct because the fact is none of us know for sure. So, but
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the Trinity makes the most sense, though.
Yeah.
When you look at God the Father, so that's the creator, that's where everything comes from. Then you've got God the Son, which represents the creation and the order, and then you've got God the Holy Spirit, and that's what connects it all.
Yeah. What do you guys do you guys think the Earth is 6,000 years old?
I think it's a lot older than that, but I won't debate too much about it, to be honest.
I would definitely say it's older than that.
My dad. Yeah, my
But
dad
then
believes
it's
the
probably
Earth
not
is
as old
6,000
as
years
they
old.
say it is too, because there's forces at work in that.
Yeah, I mean, who's to say? I mean, part of me wants to say that the Earth is only 6,000 years old because that's what the Bible says, and that's the oldest history book we have.
Yeah.
But you know, they do this carbon dating, and you know, maybe the carbon dating is true, but I hear lots of criticisms of carbon dating, and that it's basically just confirmation bias when they get these answers.
It could be, but I think personally, from my observations on how nature works and how the world works, I think the planet Earth is, if anything, older than they think it is. And I think there's been, we were kind of talking about this the other day, I think there's been a lot more human activity on it than they want to admit. I think it's
there's
something that goes back
definitely a lot more
longer.
human activity. Like they found, like in Texas, there's this place where they have the petrified dinosaur footprints.
Yeah.
But in one of them, they found and there was like rocks stacked up on top of it, and the way there was like slate, so it was like in sheets. So as they pulled it up, but there was like some that there's perfectly preserved. They also found perfectly preserved human footprints, right? So they're like, well, that's kind of weird because like, how would it still be mud, you know? And it was in the same layer. Then it walks right through the dinosaur footprint. So
I think I heard something about that. Now, I don't know one way or another. I think it's less likely that humans and dinosaurs coexisted than just people have been around here longer than they admit. But every time they kind of say, oh, well, you know, we have evidence, oldest evidence in North America is from, 14, 15,000 years ago, based on our dating of it. And then something else comes up and they go, well, actually, we kind of found something that's, clearly from about 25,000 years ago, but we're going to discount that because, most of our evidence is from this other time. But you start seeing these little tidbits of stuff. And we kind of talked about this the other night about the stone tools and things. And then there was a body found in a bog. I think it was in Florida. It was in a bog or on a shoreline or something that was a Caucasian red-haired person that predated all the Native Americans, and the Native American tribes got a hold of it because they're like, "Oh, this is our ancestor." No, you can't analyze this. You can't discuss it. You can't look at it.
Yeah, they wanted to bury it or whatever, and
you can't desecrate it with your evil white magic.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, guys. There's a third theory that we're not looking at here. Sure, we could say that dinosaurs existed before humans, or dinosaurs existed while humans were alive. The third theory, of course, is that there are no dinosaurs, and that our elites just made them up to subvert our own understanding of history.
Yeah. Well, they were definitely large animals that, like I said, something left those footprints. So
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe in evolution and the Big Bang, and that's just because, like, we talk about how great God is.
I believe in evolution,
and His power,
but I don't think that doesn't negate God by any means.
No.
I don't believe in the Big Bang because I know too much about it to believe in it.
I'm just saying, like, the reason I was just saying the Big Bang is just, I mean, in general, like Like, I don't think, okay, God is too powerful to have just said, fuck it, I'm going to make it all quick. Like, no, like, you think about how big the universe is and, like, the theory of evolution. Like, God created man and took millions of years. Well, we're thinking about God. When they say, like, 6,000 years or 7 days, like,
It's
God's an
relevant to him.
infinite being. He's an infinite being. Yeah, so relative to him, it was probably 7 fucking days. To us, that's an incomprehensible amount of time.
Yeah.
How long it took him to make the universe. So it's just like it's
also remember,
in my opinion, it makes more sense to believe that somebody like God could create something through evolution and create the perfect being, or what's almost the perfect being to him in 7 days, but to us billions and millions of years of time.
And we also touched on this. The experience of time is going to be completely different if you live forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's what's a million years. If you live for 10 years, and a month is a long time, but if you live for 1,000 years, a month is nothing.
Yeah.
Right. So what would an all-powerful, omnipotent, omniscient being that lives forever care about a million years or a billion years? It's a
Well, and plus, like, they didn't write.
And
the
why
book
doesn't why doesn't the fossil record support evolution? Why don't we see all these transitional forms?
Well,
but we do see transitional forms.
Not exactly. You don't see, like, you see a progression, but it's not like a slow progression. It's like they're one way, and then poof, suddenly they're different.
Right. No, I know, but we have. I mean, once again, I'm not arguing for or against evolution right now, but I'll just throw out some ideas here. We do have mass extinctions on a fairly regular basis, and, like, look how much.
Right.
Look how much North America has changed from before Europeans arrived here. We had huge millions of buffalo roaming everywhere, right? What do you think the archaeological or the paleontological evidence is going to look like in a million years? They're going to go, well, all there are these buffalo, and all of a sudden they disappeared, and now all we have these whole different type of cow here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's millions of them. They just came out of nowhere. Boom.
For all we know, we could have been put here.
Oh no, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, just think of what the history of the United States would look like in the geological remains in a million years. You're not going to be able to tell that it took 500 years to completely.
But that undercuts the idea of evolution. Basically, you're saying that at that point, with a mass extinction, you're going to get a mass rapid evolution. So basically,
well, it's not even that.
Well,
it's things already coexist together. But when one of them dies off, the other one takes its place and fills in that role, and all of a sudden it looks like they came out of nowhere. And I'm not saying that this is the gospel of truth. I'm just saying, it's something that we should think about, right?
Yeah, but like a horse doesn't give birth to a giraffe. There's
but
well, that's the point, is that there's forces involved in it that cause things to happen, and it seems
you're also
to happen at a like really quickly all of a sudden.
Yeah, but you're more likely to find skeletal evidence of something that there was a shit ton of. You're not going to find there was like a small group or smaller group of them here, and they were doing this and doing that. You might never be able to find them. And I'm not saying that this is the way it is. I'm just saying it's something to think about.
Yeah,
you're not necessarily going to be able to find the
Patterson's
transitional
bringing up, like, fossilization is a rare thing, and
yeah,
just the fact that there's fossils, because like 99.9999% of the time that something dies, it's just going to sit there and go back into nothingness,
Yeah, but I mean, like, a couple of summers ago, I was sitting on a rock, and the rock was like a shale rock, and there were fossilized seashells and fish in it. And it's just a rock by the side of a pond, right?
Yeah.
So I've seen this with my own eyes. Now you could say that that's, nobody made it. That it wasn't human made. This wasn't some trick that somebody put there to fool me. But we can once again, you could say that maybe it's not as old, or maybe it is as old, but it's not necessarily what we think it was. But I mean, like I said, I can take my observations, and I kind of have built my theory on that. So I'm more towards there were dinosaurs, but
But who owns the fossil record of all these dinosaurs?
where are they? Because you go to the museums and all you're seeing are recreations. You're not
Audio's
actually
fucked
that's-
up. Your audio's
Your
fucked
audio
up.
just took a giant shit.
How about now?
That's better.
There we
That's
go.
better.
Okay, I flipped it around. Sorry. So the
No,
fossil record.
the fossils are owned by the Jews.
Yeah, and you're not going to be able to see them. They're not going to show them to you. You're only seeing recreations of them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they
Most of
say
them
that
go into
they're not
the,
even safe for you to look
Smithsonian.
at.
Most of them go into the Smithsonian, and there's so much shit in the Smithsonian that like
That's where they keep the Ark of the Covenant. Is
they don't want us to know the past is the key thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like you think about all the shit they have on display there. Just think about all the shit that they don't show anybody. That they all
Oh,
keep
yeah.
in a back room.
It'll be
Why
10
do
to
they keep
1
it
what
there?
they have
It's a
versus
museum.
what they show you. It'll be 10 to 1, 10 to 1, if not more, is what they have versus
so
what they
they
show you.
they maybe show us 1%, I would say.
Yeah.
Who's to
And-
say? Who's to say we
I think
haven't
they-
found?
I think
And
they
it's
show.
only- iPhone from,
they
like,
only
10
show
billion
us
years
what
ago.
supports their narrative.
Yeah.
That's
I don't think they have anything. I think there's nothing behind the curtain. I think that they're just making
It's
it
empty.
show,
It's fucking
putting it
empty.
out on themselves and saying, "Look, Goyam, there was crazy dinosaurs back then. What the hell does your God know now?"
Well,
Oh, you're just
see, I think that's-
strengthening my belief in him because he's so great. That he's able to spend just 7 days doing something
Yeah,
when to
the-
us that's billions of years.
This is a conversation I had with somebody, and they kind of were pushing back against it, and I was just like, it doesn't shake my beliefs in any way. I said any scientific discovery that seems valid it can't be a shot against God. All it does is make you realize just how much more powerful he is than you thought he was. If you have this small idea of the world's this tiny little cave, and that's the entire universe, and that's all that God could create, versus there's this and I'm not going to get into an argument whether it exists or not, but these supernovas and this galaxies and all this vast space, if you believe in God, then you believe he created it. He's not subject to it. He is Lord over it. It's his creation, and it's just the vaster than we can imagine. And it's not a denigration of our connection to him, because it just means he gave us more than you realized.
Right.
What does it say in the Bible about when God appeared before he appeared, and basically like all the plants within like a mile were caught on fire, any animal around just burst into flames, and
That's
the guy
pretty
couldn't look at God. He had to look away. And it's like, imagine how amazing God's presence is. It literally destroys shit within this line of sight like a nuclear bomb.
I mean, that's like, I'm not even going to get into that. But that's just, sorry, that's like not a very good theology there. To even think that it's something like physical outside you is kind of silly. But the whole point is that there's forces. That's where we get shit like the Big Bang and like, I believe in evolution, but it's not exactly as we where it's just natural selection is the primary mover of it and shit. That explains variation within species, but it doesn't explain how one species becomes another species.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it was up to natural selection, in 4 billion years, there wouldn't be humans, anything nearly that advanced, if that was.
No, once
the
again,
way it is.
there's the possibilities of the intelligent design debate, where it was done in this process with this goal because somebody made it happen, and that would be God. There's the some people think it's ridiculous, but there's the whole alien intervention type of debate, which I just find interesting. I don't know if there's any validity to it, but it's interesting. I mean, it still leaves the door open. It's not like if you.
But even like stuff with like the Big Bang, if you actually start looking into
it's faulty.
Big Bang and dark matter. So like the Big Bang is because they don't want it every time, when they're trying to explain the universe, any type of organizing force. So they're like basically, everything eventually goes into entropy, right?
Yeah.
So like, then everything would have to come off. But even the Big Bang is like, so what? Nothing never comes from something except for this one time it did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's a lot of this what we consider, you know, well, what the physics world considers just taken for granted is based on faulty math, and they keep coming up.
That's
with
what I was
problems
getting
with it.
to.
Yeah.
Is there's like other forces involved that they just don't want to recognize. They're doing math on boards, and they're like, oh. Well, if there was an organizing force, that sounds too much like God. So that can't exist. So everything just had to be a. So they come up with this crazy shit like the singularity. And then when that doesn't fit their models, then they come up with shit like dark matter and blah, blah, blah.
Well, they proved dark matter was fake. They proved dark matter isn't real. Because they first made that theory as it was just a placeholder, and then it didn't get any coverage anywhere. It didn't get coverage anywhere. The guys at the Hadron Collider confirmed, or like some shit like that. They were like, "Yeah, no, dark matter isn't at all what we thought it was. It was just particles we just literally couldn't see. But they're there. They're actual physical particles."
But here's
Sorry,
the thing.
guys, we were wrong.
This got into everybody's mind, and this got into the general theory of the universe. And all it was they found a mistake. They tried doing more math based on earlier math, and like, oh shit, this doesn't add up at all. And now because they've gone so far away. The further you get, the bigger the gaps are, right?
Yeah. Like, well, there's this thing that's really big in science these days. It's called the replication crisis.
Okay, what's this? I think I've heard about this.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about this?
Yeah, I brought it up, but I didn't go that deep into it because the conversation went other places.
Oh, you just talking about replicating experiments?
Yeah, because all these studies and experiments that they've done and built all these ideas on top of, and the biggest is in the social sciences, which makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, is that even science? Like, you know what I mean? Socialist crap they're made up. But theoretical physics is another one where they're having
it's the same as anything else.
Incredibly, like, they can't replicate any of these experiments and stuff, you know. So
because
like,
they
took for granted.
They do theoretical.
They figured out the speed of light isn't a constant, so without the speed of light being
but they based everything on it. So it's like the whole thing was a fucking house of cards.
That throws out the whole theory of relativity if the speed of light's not a constant.
But once again, they just go, oh, you know what? No, everything still matters, but we're just going to make some little tweaks here and there. And now see, it all works.
Right.
And this is like the dark matter thing was they found mathematical problems, and instead of starting from scratch and going, okay, apparently we got something wrong.
Yeah, they just shoehorn something in there.
Exactly.
To be like, well, this
look,
has
now
to exist because, you know.
Yeah, magic. Boom.
Yeah.
It all still holds together.
But like the Michelson-Morley experiment that supposedly proved there wasn't an ether. Didn't. It was actually just showed that their instruments at the time weren't sophisticated enough to detect it. And actually, that's what Michelson and Morley said at the time. But they picked up the ball and ran with it.
Yep.
And that there's no ether, and that's so like basically relativity is out the window, quantum physics is out the window.
Yep.
And there's forces that they're totally not acknowledged. You know, they have no idea what gravity is.
Yep.
Yep. They
Still
can't
now.
explain it whatsoever. They just know that, you know, you can observe it.
Yep.
But they can't. They have no idea what it is, where it comes from, why it works, how it does.
And once again, how do they do any calculations on anything else?
And
say that it's. I mean, they might come up with something that is actually arguably correct, but it's going to be sort of accidental because they don't know what they're fucking actually doing.
And there's no way to reconcile quantum theory with theory of relativity. So what they use to like explain big things, and what they use to explain really tiny things, are incompatible. There's like no way.
I guess I should find a way to explain my tiny wiener.
The things that they're saying.
No, here's the thing: when they observe something that doesn't make any sense, they either come up. Oh, well, we just found a particle that travels backwards through time. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
How
I'm
would
not
you
saying
even
that.
know that? Like,
But this
you
is
know
the
what I
thing.
mean?
They don't. They can't see any of these things, right? There was a
Because it's the particle's gay.
yeah, exactly. They it likes the fruity ice cream.
And how?
Okay,
But I mean, how would you even know that it's traveling backwards in time?
well, you wouldn't. You have no
How
idea.
would you
They
measure
just go
that? You know what I mean?
because they observe something that doesn't fit their mathematical formulas, so they have to create an answer that fits what they already have, as opposed to changing what they already have based on new observations.
Right.
But there was experiments done with a giant tank of water, like distilled purified water that was buried under the ground, so it couldn't get any radiation coming through our atmosphere and disturbing it. And then they sat there and watched it. They sat there and watched it, and they saw energy dispersion coming out of this tank of water, and they said, well, this has to be a particle or a wavelength coming, because it happened when we saw when we I shouldn't say that they saw it, because they didn't see it happen, but they theorized that a star collapsed or something along these lines. And they said, because of that, those two things happening at the same time, therefore we know that there's these particles that do this and blah, blah, blah. But it's not based on the actual observation.
Right.
It's based on, well, this is the only thing that fits our existing formula, so therefore that's what it must
We
be.
get one little slice of information, they extrapolate all this stuff. And how are you going to experiment cosmological forces? Right?
Yeah, but how are you going to experiment atomic forces? You can't sit there and look at an atom.
That too. When it comes to something really big or really small.
Yeah, they have no idea. No matter what they say, they don't know.
Because if you actually, plasma physics comes up with a whole different cosmology that where basically like things are coming together and flying apart all the time, and there was no beginning and no end, which makes perfect sense.
Makes
how
more
could
sense.
there be? Right, it makes more sense that there is no beginning, so there will be no end. There's these two processes of things going apart and coming together, and so that kind of explains it. So evolution would be a nature of the universe as well. And
Ham and Beans in the YouTube chat asked, "Do you guys believe the Earth is the only planet that has life on it?" I believe that there is other life in the universe, and we not only have been visited in the past. I believe that visiting still goes on today.
I would say it would be a statistical improbability that Earth would be the only place with life on it. However, it could also, as I think it's as much of a possibility, just because it could be, it's as much of a possibility that we are so far away from any other living thing that we might never see it. However, it's just as likely that they're, just around the next bend and we haven't noticed them because they do it covertly, or we just haven't
or even
noticed
things
them.
that live here,
say
but
that
they
there's
live on a different dimension.
I would say that there's factors that we don't know that you would have to know to be able to answer that question.
Yeah,
you guys are way too
I'd
reasonable. I don't believe.
I'd say
there are other planets and to have life forms on, and space is fake.
Okay.
I wouldn't go so far as
anyway,
to
1
say I
second.
believe space is fake, but I also, I don't necessarily believe.
Just to answer Collapsing In's question on DLive, yes, that would be pretty gay.
Would it be gay to have sex with your past self, or would that be masturbating?
I think that'd be masturbation. I don't know, man. I wouldn't. Jesus will forgive you. So as long as you pray to him and accept you. So if you want to be gay, go be gay. with your past self.
You
dude.
try
Just
and
don't.
tell us how it works.
That's not.
I'm not doing it. I'm just saying I'm not going to be the experimenter on that. I don't care. If we have
Yeah,
time
dude.
machines.
If you want to go do that, you go ahead. But we're not gonna. We're gonna have to pass on that one. But
I wouldn't.
How about?
I wouldn't want to have sex with myself. So
yeah, neither would I. What the fuck?
I'm a pretty good looking dude, man. I mean, I don't know.
I'm pretty handsome too, but it's
I'm
kind
gonna
of
put
like
it this way: good looking and dude are mutually exclusive.
You can say, yeah, okay, like I think being able to recognize, like, oh yeah, that's a handsome looking fellow there. That can be a non-gay thing, but there's definitely
Absolutely.
a line you don't want to cross.
Oh,
There's
exactly.
definitely a line you don't want to cross, and saying like, oh, good-looking dude, like, dude, that's a little sus. But
I'm just saying,
saying like, oh, there's a
I could never look at another man's hairy ass and be like, dude, I gotta get a piece of that.
No,
dude,
no,
I
no.
got a sneak my penis in there.
If it was shaved, the walrus would be totally into it, but not hairy. Jesus.
Ooh, Rusty Shackelford asked a really good question. Do you guys think that sentient life on other planets would have their own Bible and their own Jesus figure?
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Yes. And I think it would most likely just be a version of the same thing, but just their language. They'd be talking about the same God.
He followed up with, I would assume they would, if God made everything, would be kick out to find the Jewsians killed Space Jesus.
Oh, they did. And once we get our hands on them, we're building space ovens. I'll just put it that way.
This is just ridiculous.
In space, if no one can hear you, kvetch.
If there was other planets,
sorry for. I know you're trying to talk, but
if there was other planets with other life forms with their own Bible and their own connection to God, God would have told us about it.
Well, even if we were his favorite special creations, don't assume that he owes you the information, that he owes you something. Maybe he doesn't want you to know.
Intelligence. I think God gave us the intelligence so that we keep ourselves busy, kind of like, we wouldn't just be putzing around. Like, I think God gave us other planets, and he gave us the ability he gave us the big brains we do, or he created a process that allowed us to develop these brains so that we could go out and, explore more of this, basically a playground he built for us.
But
you know what?
I think God may have made. I think God, if there is other life out there, which I do believe, I think God made it, and I think just like watching all the kids on the playground, he wants his kids to learn and grow up together and learn to play with each other and be nice.
I'd be more impressed if I got to fly in an airplane over Antarctica than I would if I got to fly in a spacecraft to the moon, because I know the second one's definitely never happening, but the first one, there's a chance it might happen, but once again, it's probably not going to happen.
No, but I would just say keep your mind open to possibility. It doesn't mean you got to jump in face first into it, but it's really easy to be to be arrogant as looking at human accomplishments and going, okay, look, we can do this and we can do that. Therefore, we would know this. Like, once again, it's like the Jewish idea of that they can argue with God and win because they're God's favorite creation. He made them so brilliant and so wonderful, and it's kind of like that's awful arrogant. I just put it that way, and I'm not trying to pick on Steve here or
Steve's opened himself up. I get it.
No, yeah. But I mean, like, it's just it's if you're humble, you can say, okay, you know what, I don't believe in that and whatever. But it's if new things come up, I would keep my mind open to them. Is all I'd say.
Yeah.
I try to keep it as I have a theory based on my observations, but I'm usually wrong because new things come out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
It says in the Bible. It says in the Bible that in the beginning was the Word, and then the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word became flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So, if Jesus is the Son of God in flesh,
and that's true, why that's immediately sort of like centric to the human race. It's implying that the human race is special and the human race matters
Yes, absolutely.
in the context of the universe in a way that no other creation possibly could.
Well, thanks for the lemons, Murray.
Not possibly could, but just as much as we've been told.
I mean, throwing like in the Bible when it talks about, I think it mentioned like an orb of light, and out of this orb of light comes these figures, that look like men but frogs or something, and it's basically describing like a glowing orb of light, and out of it comes like gray aliens, pretty much. So one of the things we could be totally dealing with is say these other planets with life on them. Maybe they didn't accept the sacrifice that whatever savior was sent to them, and so they were lost. They were pretty much left to become a race of demons, pretty much. And that's why I think a lot of like imagery of what aliens do to human beings, with the abductions and the torture and the mutilations. Very well what we could be looking at is beings from a planet who had their chance at salvation but turned their back to their version of Christ. And we are the only ones who God knew we would be the ones who finally got it right, finally accepted Jesus Christ.
That's a possibility too. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, since we gone from ice cream to aliens via
space Jews.
Yes.
That was space Jews.
Oy vey,
since we gone from ice cream to aliens via evolution and cosmology and quantum physics. We're gonna have to shut her down for the night now because it's been it's getting late here.
Yeah. What time is it there?
Almost 5, I think.
Hey, you guys, I got a great idea for a TV show. So it's like that show Sequest, but it's Sequest, but it's Sequest in space. It's like Sequest on another planet.
What would you call it?
Sequest in space.
It's an excellent title. Excellent title. I'd watch it.
Can you shoot space Jews with fucking laser guns?
Space.
Yeah.
Space gas.
Because if you can shoot space Jews with fucking laser guns, then I'm in. But otherwise,
but in this version, instead of them trying to save the ocean, they're trying to destroy it.
In space. I like it. I'm picking up what you're putting down, buddy.
Planet Quest. No. It's Sequest, but in space.
That's the full title. Sequest, but in space.
It's not Space Quest. It's not Planet Quest. It's Sequest, but in space.
That's the whole title. It's not Planet Quest. It's not Sequest. It's Sequest, but in space.
Yeah, but we shorten it up. We shorten it up in general conversation. Though,
no, you gotta leave it too long when it's funny. No, it's funnier when you just say it the whole thing.
We got to come up with an acronym.
Dude, did you see the latest episode of not Space Quest, not Planet Quest, but Sequest in space?
But yeah, it's on True TV. What's it called? It's the show with the really long name. Oh, it's not Space Quest, Planet Quest. It's Sea Quest in space. Okay, all right.
They're gonna go where no man has gone before.
Hey,
we got to add that part. It's that show with a really long name into the title.
Right.
That's the pull quote, the tagline.
Get ready to blow your fucking brains out.
Actually, the full name is not Space Quest or Planet Quest. It's Sequest, but in space. It's kind of a long name, but we said fuck it.
Now we just gotta find a Jewish producer to take
Yeah,
our
yeah.
project on.
Right.
Well, the space Jews are opening up brand new markets. Oh,
So,
So,
well,
all you
I'll write up a
ADL
pilot
people out
for-
there that are stalking us and writing us down.
Yeah,
if you
don't
could get
steal
us
my
in
fucking
touch with your
ideas.
cousins.
You hear me? You hear me? And if you're gonna steal my fucking idea, send us some goddamn lemons.
We're not asking for much. We're not asking for much.
You know, cyber shekels.
I'm giving you gold. At least give me some lemons.
Yeah.
There's a weak. The Jews don't know about this one weakness. They think we don't know about it, right? But they have one weak. They have this one weakness that's
Shekels.
always visible. Every time they screw someone over, their nose gets bigger, and eventually we'll be able to tell who all the Jews are because they'll have the biggest noses.
It's like Pinocchio, but different.
And I know they already have big noses.
Instead of
but I mean,
growing
like-
out,
like
it just
noses
looks
that, like-
more and more.
Yeah, and eventually it's down to like their lips.
And their hands whittle away to nothing because they rub them, so they just rub them off.
Yeah. They're just bloody stumps.
They're highly polished.
Mark Dosis went and put it down to all the capital, all the beginning letters. So it's TSNSQ. Oh, it's just jumped on me. TSNSQBSQIS. And I said, wait for the next version of it, which is the next generation. So it'd be TSNSQBSQIS
Oh, that's not nearly as good as TSNSQBSQIS.
No, they
DS9.
changed it when they changed the yeah. When they changed the cast, it was just never the same.
I mean, you gotta have 7 and 9 with them titties, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, guys, when they got the space version of Alex Trebek on there, it wasn't that great. Space version of Alex Trebek.
The space version.
Space version.
Yeah.
Alex
Not
Trebek,
the dead
but in
one on
space.
Earth, but the space version. Yeah.
It's Alex Trebek, but it's the space version.
Yeah, not the dead one.
That's the name of the character, actually. Yeah, not the dead one.
Yeah, it's not even Alex Trebek. It's just a completely different guy.
Right. It's Alex Trebek, not the dead one. It's the space version.
That's his full legal
We
name.
need-
It's
we-
Alex Trebek, not the dead one.
We need more power to the phasers, Alex Trebek, not the dead one.
Yeah. But the space one. Yeah. Played by Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
All right. He's like rubbing his hands together. All right.
The best thing about Tarquinian girls is I keep getting older and they stay the same age. Them green space traps.
Be cooler if you did.
In space, no one can know. In space, you can't run away from the gay.
You got any of that not regular weed, but weed in space joints, bruh?
You guys like this bit where we just talk about normal shit, but in space for 30 minutes?
It's gonna be our new weekly thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
This is the bit that stops the stream from ending.
What if you had some fruity ice cream, but with some nut? But in
But from
space.
space. Yeah, guys, I really like this Arizona iced tea, but in space.
hey, fellow space friends, want to do some
That hurts
space
space.
terrorisms?
Yeah, dude.
Space feds.
I'm a bit of a kid myself.
Hello,
but
friends
in
that are in
space.
space. I'm gonna go masturbate, but in space. Are you guys gonna participate in No Nut November, but in space?
Dude, I'm laughing so much I'm sweating. I'm fucking
If you
sweating.
take the pledge, you have to change your and you have to change your profile picture to the Coomer, but in space.
Space Coomer.
Oh.
See, you guys, I came up with this great idea, and now you're just wearing it out.
That's what you do with great ideas.
But we're not regular wearing it out. We're wearing it out.
Oh,
but
see,
in
we have
space.
we have to wear it out before the Jews take it and make money off of it. We're taking money away from
Right,
the Jews.
we've got to beat it into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no good anymore.
Yeah.
It'll never be no good, to be honest. It's a pretty solid bit.
Rusty Shackleford says, "I'm gonna coup, but in space."
Oh, God.
All right, gentlemen. I'm gonna call it a night myself too.
Yeah.
I got to go to bed, but in space. So.
But in space. All right.
All right, Border.
Well, thank you all for showing up. We will
My
be
pleasure.
back tomorrow at the same time, the same place, but in space.
But in space.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right,
What if we had
later,
a good
guys.
night, but in space?
And
Take it easy.
one more thing. Dave's doing CBN tomorrow, and he's doing Beetlejuice.
Oh, nice.
And I think it's going to be at
Also known as
2
Lori Lightfoot,
p.m.
but in space.
Yeah, he's doing Beetlejuice in space, and that's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern time and 2000 Central European time. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Right,
I'm
yeah, I
off
gotta
tomorrow.
do
I'll check that out.
yeah, check it out. Beetlejuice, can't go wrong.
I'm about to do the lemons here, the chest.
Yeah,
So,
and then the day after that on Tuesday, MP's Music, she's going to be doing a special ELO and Supertramp episode. So 2 really great bands.
ELO and Supertramp, but in space.
Yeah.
I thought they already were.
Yeah, well, Supertramp is definitely in space.
Hello.
ELO, one of the best bands.
Independence Day, the Revolutionary War, but in space.
Yeah. I thought Supertramp was from Canada, but in space.
Oh my God.
Space Canadians.
Oh God.
We can't escape them. They're in space too.
We're very sorry, but in space.
Fuck
Sorry. Get some of that.
Space sorry. I'm very space sorry.
Get some of that maple syrup, but in space.
Yeah.
Why is this not getting old yet? Why is it still funny?
It didn't even start getting really funny until we drove it into the ground.
It's gone through like waves of being like funnier and less funny, and
Oh, Mark Tosis, you're the shekel master
There you go.
tonight.
hey,
Hey,
Jamie
Good job. Good job.
have some of these
Murray and Anime Peppy.
Yo, Beast.
All right. Well,
I didn't have to donate back an ice cream. Did I do it? Did it work?
Yo, Space.
Spaced in red pill, but in space.
but in space. Spaced and red pilled.
That worked.
Yeah, dude.
Ah, there we go. Uh-huh.
Spaced.
But in space.
Fucking
All right,
stupid.
so, have a
All right.
good
Guys, I'm
night.
gonna leave before this kills me. All right, guys, take it easy.
I'm back, guys.
HH.
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 Well, I wake up early in the morning, you see. Lord knows it feels like somebody can't call me. Yes, it does. My liver inside really happy right now. He said he's gonna quit the state of Texas won't let me in. I ain't gonna be here long. Not afraid I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, Lord. I ain't gonna be here long. But my heart it sure ain't pumping like it used to do. Lord knows I bump my leg and it turns black and blue. Yes, it does. Now they say that it's unhealthy the way that I live. My liver's gone, my lungs are shot, and my heart's about to give. But I ain't gonna let that bother me, no. 'Cause I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son. I ain't gonna let that bother me, none, oh Lord. 'Cause I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son. I ain't gonna be here long. Not afraid I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, Lord. Ain't gonna be here long. Ain't gonna be here long. No, not afraid I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, Lord. I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son.